In this video, I want to go over bionano genomics or Bngo stock. We do have some recent news and I have a couple of things to show you on the chart here. So let's take a look at Bngo. I haven't covered this one in a while, but if you like these videos, consider hitting the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Check out the links down below for some free stocks and cryptos. Consider joining my YouTube membership for $2 a month, and let's take a look at bionano genomics. Now we have some news that was released today. Bionano is going to be on an extensive lineup here at some European conferences. Starting off with June 8 to 11 is going to be a conference that covers OGM's use in pediatric acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and then going from June 10 to 13, we have 25 scientific posters and presentations covering research on rare undiagnosed genetic disease and genetic disorders, hematological malignancies, and cell line quality control. And then June 12 to 15 will be an overview of OGM's utility in oncology and cell therapy applications. And as said by Eric Homlin, the CEO of Bionano, we are proud to see a broad range of posters and presentations on OGM or optical genome mapping at 3 European genetic conferences this year. Researchers and scientists continue to push forward cutting-edge research in the human genetics space, and we're pleased to see them share their findings with conference attendees. These presentations point to the continued expansion of OGM into clinical research applications for cancer, genetic disease, and cell therapy, where we believe OGM has the potential to deliver significant advantages relative to the current methodologies. And we also have something else here that was released a couple days ago on June 6th. But essentially Bionano announced a commercial release of some new kits. There's actually 4 kits that they're releasing. And I will leave this down below, but I'll kind of summarize this a little bit. Essentially, these ionic G2 kits will enable ITP or isotachophoresis. I'm sure I butchered that. But essentially it provides up to a 4.5-fold increase in nucleic acid yield over the leading column-based system. So the current system in use, 4.5 times better. And it also offers a higher quality sample result and reduced sample processing times. And regarding this, Eric Hallman, the CEO, says Bionano acquired Purigen. If you guys remember that, that wasn't all that long ago. So we could develop an ITP workflow for ultra-high molecular weight DNA. We're continuing to support applications of ITP on the ionic system in other areas, especially NGS or next-gen sequencing, because we believe it provides us a bridge to the molecular pathology community independent of OGM. So what does this tell us? Well, basically Bionano has a very innovative product, and this should over time continue to translate to growing revenue, which we have seen pretty consistently with this company. And next up, let's go over the chart. I have definitely a couple things to show you there, and then we'll look at some previous earnings and some things that are expected moving forwards. Now first off, I have a long-term downtrend that I want to show you, this white line that we're just completely unable to break out of. We actually have not broken out of this. It's been a resistance line that's been holding Bngo down since March of 2021. Yes, you've heard that right. For over 2 years now, Bngo has not been able to break this descending resistance line. And I did want to show you that we're very close to testing it once more. Towards late June, we will likely be testing this trend line unless we just dramatically drop before then. But if we can break this resistance, I think that'll be huge news. And one thing that I want to add is Bngo is notorious for patterns. Whether it's a break to the upside of a pattern or a break to the downside, there is almost always a reaction to a break of a pattern. And I'll show you some great previous examples. We were following this ascending channel here. Once we broke it, it continued down. Another ascending channel, once it broke it, it continued down. A descending channel, once we broke that, we ran upwards. An ascending support line, once we broke that, we fell. A descending wedge pattern, once we broke that, we ran up. I think you guys get the point that Bngo definitely loves to trade its patterns. So do keep an eye on patterns on this one. So I do think if we can break this descending resistance, there will be a clear reaction to a break of this pattern finally. And if we do break this and continue moving, I will be watching for a break above the 200 MA. I did want to show you also that we have a floor of 60 cents. If we broke that, that would be very bad. So watch out for 60 cents. And if you're trading this short term, or if you're just playing swing trades or trying to trade the short term, I would probably set a stop loss right under 60 cents if it does have a huge negative reaction to that break. And I also want to show you that it's clearly finding resistance on the 50 MA here. You can tell it's just can't break above the 50 MA right now. But of course, things could change in the next couple of days. And this is a company that has tried very hard to hold up its May 11 lows back in 2022, but it recently broke those lows in March. We also have a gap down here when it broke this dollar area, so watch out for a potential run back to fill that gap. As for coming up on earnings, they are expecting to see record-breaking revenue, but it's very close to a quarter we saw 2 quarters ago. They're expecting essentially about 0.1 million above this last quarter, which was a record-breaking quarter. So it's kind of up in the air whether or not they'll actually see a record-breaking quarter again. If they meet their expectations, they will, but if they just fall under it slightly, we likely won't be seeing a record-breaking quarter where revenue is concerned. I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but remember, this is not a profitable company, so growing revenue is extremely important here. And for the most part, this company does have consistent revenue growth. There are times where quarter over quarter we see a decrease in revenue, but in general, across the board, we do see increasing revenue at the very least year over year, certainly. However, just like right here back in 2021, we did see a drop in revenue, so it kind of depends, honestly. Quarterly revenue growth isn't that consistent compared to yearly revenue growth, but I do expect moving forwards that we're going to continue to see revenue growth. They do have sort of a recurring revenue with flow cells, and as they sell more and more sapphires, and of course selling these kits that were mentioned for the ionic system through Purigen, it should continue to add to the revenue, and more sapphires being sold, of course, means more recurring revenue down the road. But overall, this chart is certainly still bearish. We are facing a declining 250 MA that right now we're not able to break over the 50 at least. And just be aware that this is extremely high risk. It's very close to its 52-week low, and it is clearly in a downtrend. But let me know what you guys think about Bngo. There's definitely a reason I've covered this stock from time to time. I still have my small position. I still do believe in their products. And I do think that as the macro economy eventually improves, this will certainly help Bngo from a company perspective as well as a stock perspective. But let me know what you guys think about Bngo stock. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.